Everybody on YouTube,
Everybody in Michigan.
listen closely.
Today,
We
are talking about actually, there's no numbers, the pros.
talk about the pros and the cons of concrete and paver patios. So let's kick it off, Josh. What's the first pro you want to kick out about concrete?
Yeah. So, you want to talk about concrete first or pavers?
Let's talk about concrete. We'll save the best for last.
Okay, so concrete. Some of the cons of concrete, or I'll just start with the good side. Some of the
Yes.
pros of concrete are going to be that it's pretty much a really cost-effective option for really, really large spaces. So when you're thinking of your driveways or maybe a really massive pool deck, even then I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. But if you're looking for a cost-effective option for a really large space, then concrete would probably be a good idea. The second thing would probably be you have some style appeal that you can put to it. So you can do stamped concrete. You could do exposed aggregate. You could do, some people even, they stain their concrete.
Yep.
Some
they
people
do
stain their
stain it.
concrete. Like you can put stain in the pump and it'll cause the concrete to have a darker color or a lighter color or whichever you like. So those are two pros. Cost effective for super large areas and they have some aesthetic appeal, but nothing that would rival pavers at all. Want to talk about some pros or cons?
Yeah, let's talk about some cons. I'm going to put this paper right here.
Sure.
So I'm not looking terribly down. Your handwriting is incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
So one of the cons, most definitely here in Michigan, is that your concrete is going to crack. Period. No question about it.
Why?
Because concrete holds moisture, and here in Michigan, you've seen just the other day it was 8 degrees, and now today it's 60 degrees. So that such harsh freeze and thaw cycle is gonna make the moisture inside your concrete expand and contract at a pace where the concrete cannot. So it's gonna escape. Water creates a ton of pressure.
Okay.
So, every dam that's ever built becomes broken over time. So as that moisture in your concrete expands and contracts, there's no amount of concrete that you could put that will keep it from cracking. So it's definitely going to crack. Nobody's going to warranty your concrete because they know it's going to crack. It all depends on when it cracks. It could be 1 year, it could be 2 years, could be 3 years, but regardless, it's going to crack. What's that last part say? Cheap?
Cheap.
That is a con. Sure, it is quite cheap, but the downside of it being cheap is it's less to install up front, but maintaining over time is almost impossible, and you're going to have to spend that cheap cost over and over and over again throughout the lifetime, making sure that you have a usable space.
So when you say that, you're talking about repairing it continuously, every 3 to 5 years if it cracks?
Yeah, so say it cracks year 1, and then by year 5, it's just completely unusable. You're gonna have to pay that cost to have it torn out and repoured. Once concrete cracks, you can kind of mitigate it and slow it down a little bit, but you can't undo it and you can't make it stop.
Okay, so that's concrete, guys. Pros and cons of concrete. A lot of people in Michigan do use concrete. A lot of people in Michigan do use pavers. If you listen to the pros that I mentioned and the cons that Max mentioned, it'll probably help you make your own decision around what's best for you. But before you make that decision, let's talk about the latest and greatest, those brick pavers.
I want to throw in one more
Go
pro
ahead.
about concrete, and it is a building material that is very manipulatable, so you can mold it to any shape, pattern, size that you could ever imagine.
For instance, pools.
Or concrete globes or anything of that nature.
Yep.
Archways, things like that. And it is a building material that does not rust, burn, or rot. So that's another very good pro about concrete that also kind of ties and flows over into the
Pavers
section as well. Yeah.
All right, so pavers. Let's talk about pavers. So here at Odd Jobs, we use pavers 9 times out of 10, and we're going to tell you exactly the reasons why. A few of them are because of the cons that concrete has, but more so it's really just because of the benefits that pavers offer. So let's start with some of those pros. There's actually a long list that we could go through, but we'll first say aesthetics and colors. So there's different colors, there's different sizes, there's different textures, different things that could fit more of a classic home. If you have a brick home, if you have a more modern home, there's a paver that's a fit for your home, no matter what you have. So
there is unrivaled beauty that lies within pavers.
Yep. So the thickness of them,
the finish of them,
yeah.
They be smooth. You can have an exposed aggregate paver.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have like a wet cast type deal.
Yep.
So it's nice and shiny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they come in endless shapes and patterns, endless colors, and, you know, they're all around incredible.
Incredible. Second thing is going to be durability. So one thing that Max talked about with concrete is that it's inevitable. It will crack. Pavers, on the other hand, a lot less likely unless you have a strong vehicle load, or what would be another reason for a paver to crack? Maybe compaction.
If you are spreading road salt on your pavers, that will destroy them. Depending on the type of paver, there's a couple that are salt resistant, but 9 times out of 10, you throw some salt down on your pavers, they're good as gone.
Okay. So after that, we've got the warranty. So in any case, concrete's not going to be warranted. On the other hand, the pavers will be. So specifically, Max has on today a Unilock shirt. That is the brick paver manufacturer that we use for all of our projects, and they offer a lifetime warranty on their products as well as our personal labor warranty behind the work. So it's a great combo.
90% of Unilock's pavers are permeable, so they don't hold moisture. They hold a lot less moisture per se than a concrete slab. So the likelihood of it cracking due to the weather is very low. But, you know, as long as you're not throwing road salt on your pavers, it will be covered under warranty. So if you ever get a little chip on your corner, or for instance, you scratch one of them with your portable grill or the fireplace or whatever the case is, you know, they will be able to pull it out, put in a new one, good to go. Also, another pro about pavers is, say I have a 12 by 12 paver and that sucker cracks dead in the center of your patio. All you have to do is cut that out, lift it up, put in a new one. But if you get a crack in the middle of your concrete,
new driveway,
it's not a simple fix. So really the maintenance of pavers, longevity, if you install them correctly, is very low cost, very affordable, but the upfront cost of the installation is going to be more expensive than per se concrete.
And so one thing that I like to explain to homeowners when they're making the decision between should we use pavers, should we use concrete, is exactly what Max just said. So there's a difference between the price of something and the cost. So the price up front will look like pavers being more expensive than concrete, but the cost over the long term would be the concrete costing more than the pavers due to the maintenance, due to the cracking, due to the lack of warranty, all those things you take into account.
Or if you even think about it this way, say you're at a car dealership and they want to sell you a Rolls Royce for $400,000. If the Rolls Royce is proven to not break and is virtually costless over the lifespan, you got to get new tires. You got to get new headlight bulbs. But if that car is guaranteed to not break through the lifetime of the car, you'd be more willing to spend the $400,000 on the Rolls Royce than on the Toyota Corolla that is guaranteed to break down over time. So, you know, what you guys really need to take into consideration is, do I want to spend this money one time and have a space that I can enjoy for decades, or, you know, do I want to have to constantly reinvest in my space to make it usable?
Awesome. So any cons top of mind for pavers? Maybe like polymeric sand every once in a while?
You definitely do have to do poly sand every now and then, just to ensure that, you know, your joints are sealed properly and things of that nature. But one of the cons, I guess you could say, is the upfront cost of pavers, because they are more expensive than concrete in most cases, sometimes double as expensive. So I guess that could be a con. What's another con for pavers?
That's all I've got. Probably just the polymeric sand. So in case that went over your head, what Max said, in between the joints of the pavers, if you look at any brick paver walkway leading into a library or leading into a church or leading into your front entrance, there's small joints that need sand in between to keep them interlocked. So every once in a while, in super high traffic areas, some of the sand could get, moved out of the joints, and you'll have to just sweep it in, wet it to activate it. It's a super easy fix.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
I guess another con would be the salt issue. Because we're here in Michigan, a lot of people would rather, just throw some salt down and let the ice do its thing. But, a con of pavers is if you have a concrete sidewalk in front of your house, you could just salt it and you're good to go. But if you salt your paver walkway, it'll soon be a gravel walkway. And that is definitely not a pro. But they do make ice melt solutions that are not as harsh on pavers as road salt. So there is contingencies that will help mitigate that. But as long as you know and understand that putting road salt on your pavers will destroy them, then you virtually won't have any issues.
All right, guys. Those are the pros and cons of using brick pavers and or concrete in Michigan. If you're a homeowner and you're looking for a new outdoor living space and you're considering pavers, or maybe you're considering concrete,
you could consider both.
You could. We could actually, do a concrete driveway with paver on the outside for the border. But neither here nor there. If you're interested in working with Max and Josh on an outdoor living space for your home,
give us a call today
Yes.
at 248-302-9175. We look forward to working with you.
We look forward to working with you, and thanks for watching our videos. If you made it this far, smash the subscribe button.
Smash that
Subscribe button.
Smash it.
The like button, and leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Thanks.